They told you to wait your turn, to stay in line, to raise your hand, to ask for permission. But the truth is, no one is coming to hand you the life you dream about. This world doesn't belong to the quiet, to the hesitant, to the overly polite. It belongs to the bold, to the ones who move before the world says, go. To the souls who understand that destiny is not awarded, it is seized. Unapologetically, unrelentingly, unreasonably. Success was never meant for those who ask for the rules. It was built brick by those who break them. Look back through history, and you'll see it plainly. Edison lit the world not because he waited for permission, but because he dared to chase light when others settled for darkness. He failed 1,000 times, and each failure was another refusal to stop. Ford didn't beg the horse carriage makers for approval before building the engine that moved a century. He acted while the world laughed. And you? You've been taught to hesitate, taught to shrink, taught to overthink, to seek validation before every move. But you were not born to be a whisper in someone else's story. You were born to roar, to become the author of your own legend, with hands covered in the ink of relentless action. Do you hear that voice inside you? That restless fire that stirs at 2 a.m. reminding you that you were made for more? That's your soul remembering its mission. And it's not asking anyone's permission to speak. The battlefield of greatness is never crowded because most people stay on the sidelines, waiting for signs, waiting for certainty, waiting for someone else to crown them worthy. But those who win, those who bend fate to their will, are the ones who step forward anyway, with shaking hands, with a heart full of fear. But with feet that move, they don't wait for the stars to align. They align themselves with their vision and dare the stars to follow. Because success is not logical. It's not neat. It doesn't come with a guarantee or a clearly marked map. It's messy, emotional, uncomfortable. It demands your belief before there's proof. And most people, they won't believe in you. Not in the beginning. Because you are a mirror to their own inaction. Your ambition will threaten their comfort. Your hunger will expose their apathy. That's okay. Let them misunderstand. Let them talk. Let them doubt. You're not here to be understood. You're here to be unforgettable. Clarity does not come before movement. It comes through it. You don't wait for the fog to lift before you take the first step. You walk through the fog, and you trust that with every stride, the next stone will appear beneath your feet. Because belief, true belief, is not thinking something might work. It's knowing you will make it work, even if the whole world bets against you. Carnegie wasn't born into power. He forged it. From the dirt, from steel, from the fire of a will that would not be denied. He saw what others didn't. He believed before anyone else dared to. And that's the difference between those who watch history and those who make it. You must decide here and now whether you are waiting to be chosen or whether you will choose yourself. This moment, this breath, is a declaration. No more hesitation. No more second guessing. No more apologizing for your dreams. Your vision is your responsibility. Your destiny does not belong in someone else's hands. And you do not owe this world an explanation for moving boldly toward the life you were born to build. Don't wait for approval become undeniable. Don't wait for a path carved one. Don't wait to be welcomed. Kick the damn door open. Success belongs to those who move without permission. You were never meant to fit into the mold. You were meant to break it, to redefine what's possible by becoming the living proof. And yes, it will cost you. It will cost your comfort. It will cost your old identity. It will cost the version of you that played small to keep others comfortable. It will cost friendships, late nights, weekends, and easy excuses. But what you'll gain is worth everything. Freedom, purpose, a fire inside that no one can put out. The kind of success that doesn't just sit in your bank account, but beats in your chest. That's what you're after. And it doesn't come to the person who waits. It comes to the one who moves again and again, no matter who says no, no matter how many gates are locked, no matter how loud the voice of doubt whispers in the dark. Because once you taste momentum, once you feel your soul in motion, you realize the gates were never locked at all. They were waiting for you to walk through, to become the exception, to rewrite what's possible. So let the world call you reckless. Let them call you obsessed. Let them call you unrealistic. Because those are the names they give to the ones they'll soon call legendary. And while they're still waiting for permission, you'll already be gone. Already building. Already rising. Already becoming everything they said you couldn't. Because success doesn't care who asks. It moves with those who act. Let the others worship comfort. Let them trade their fire for a familiar routine. But not you. You have a vision that's bigger than excuses. A hunger that won't let you sleepwalk through life. You're not chasing success because it's glamorous. You're chasing it because something inside you knows you were meant for more. And that more, it begins the moment you stop negotiating with your limits. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's a declaration. It's how you tell the universe, I'm serious. Serious about rising, serious about changing, serious about becoming. Most people want success until it asks for sacrifice. Until it demands early mornings, late nights, total focus. Until it strips away distractions, relationships, and the softness of safety. And when it does, they fold. They call it too hard. They say maybe later. But there is no later. There is no perfect time. There is only now, and the decision you make inside it. Discipline is doing what must be done, even when the mood is gone. Especially then. Because that's the moment you shift from being someone who dreams to someone who executes. Think of every great name you admire: Lincoln, Jobs, Disney, Mandela. Their journeys were not made in comfort. They were forged in pressure, through endless adversity. And what made them different wasn't talent alone. It was consistency in chaos. It was the decision to keep building, even when the winds of doubt tried to tear everything down. Because purpose is not passive. Purpose is a war. And to win, you have to show up every single day ready to fight. Fight for your focus. Fight for your habits. Fight for the life that only you can build. And yes, it will feel lonely. You will walk roads that few are willing to take. You will be misunderstood. You will question yourself over and over again. But understand this: greatness is never born in crowds. It's born in solitude. In the silent hours when no one's clapping, no one's watching, and no one's handing out awards. And still, you grind. You build. You believe? Because deep down, you know something they don't. The dream is real, and it's worth everything. That vision in your heart, the one that won't go away, it's not random. It's a call, a responsibility. And it chose you because you have what it takes to bring it to life. But belief isn't enough. Vision isn't enough. It takes action, fierce, fearless, imperfect action. It takes momentum, not motivation, because motivation will fade. But motion creates clarity. Motion builds confidence. Motion proves you mean it. So move, even if it's messy, even if you don't have all the answers, because the path is built while you walk it. You don't become successful by thinking about it. You become successful by working for it. One disciplined hour at a time. No one's going to hand you your dream. But the day you stop asking, the day you start taking, is the day everything begins to change. You see, most people wait for the light to turn green, for the opportunity to knock, for someone to tell them it's okay to start. But winners punch through the wall. They build the opportunity. They are the signal. You are not meant to live at half speed. not meant to ask for permission to feel alive. You are meant to ignite, to step into every room with the kind of conviction that silences doubt. You don't have to prove yourself to the world, but you do have to prove yourself to you. And the only way to do that is to act, to move, to decide. Decide that enough is enough, that you're done pretending, done shrinking, done waiting for someone to say yes to the life that already belongs to you. Success isn't about being perfect. It's about being relentless. It's about falling and choosing to rise again and again until the world has no choice but to see what you saw in yourself all along. Because the truth is, you are powerful beyond belief. But power unused is power lost. Potential unclaimed becomes regret. And a dream ignored becomes a burden that haunts your soul. So don't wait another day. Don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for anyone to open the gate. You are the key. You are the storm. You are the force they never saw coming. Success belongs to those who move without permission, because they know that greatness doesn't wait, and neither will they. There's a rhythm to destiny, a quiet pulse that beats underneath the noise of the world. Only a few ever learn to hear it. Fewer still dare to move with it. It doesn't speak in words. It speaks in moments, in instincts, in that gut feeling that says now, even when logic says wait. And the ones who learn to follow it, they don't just live life, they lead it. But make no mistake, there will be resistance from the world, from your past, from your own mind. Doubt will disguise itself as caution. Fear will whisper lies dressed as reason. And your old life, the one you're trying to escape, it will pull you back like gravity, because mediocrity never lets go without a fight. It clings to routine, to comfort, to that small voice that says, you've done enough. But deep down, you know the truth. Enough isn't enough when you were born for extraordinary. You don't get to rewrite your story by living the same chapter over and over again. You rewrite it by turning the page, by choosing courage over convenience, and by facing the mirror, not with shame, but with fire. The moment you stop negotiating with your limitations is the moment you become dangerous. Dangerous to doubt. Dangerous to fear. Dangerous to a world that told you to sit still when you were made to rise. And you will rise, not because it's easy, but because you refuse to stay buried. Success doesn't come to the one who knocks politely. It comes to the one who kicks the damn door down and builds their own throne. And here's what they don't tell you. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the most connected. You don't need to have all the answers. You need to decide that your excuses are done. Because talent is nothing without tenacity. And ideas are worthless without execution. You don't manifest greatness by speaking it once. You become it through repetition, through sweat, through showing up every day, when no one claps and nothing looks glamorous. Grind is the gateway. Patience is your weapon. Faith is your shield. And gratitude? Gratitude is your compass. Not the kind of fake gratitude that posts quotes on social media. Real gratitude, the kind that whispers thank you in the middle of the storm. The kind that celebrates the pain, the process, the pressure, because it knows that diamonds aren't made in safety. They're made in heat. And so are you. So let the struggle come. Let the setbacks come. Let the silence stretch longer than you expected. It's all part of the refinement. It's all part of becoming someone who doesn't just win, but someone who's worthy of winning. You see, we've glamorized the destination for too long. We've forgotten that the becoming, the scars, the solitude, the stretching, that's the real prize. The man who lost everything and stood back up. The woman who was laughed at and chose to speak louder. The child who had nothing and built an empire out of dust and defiance. Those are the architects of reality. They didn't wait. They moved. Moved through rejection. Moved through judgment. Moved through seasons when nothing made sense. And because they moved, the world had to make room. That's your job now, to make the world adjust to your presence, to show up so consistently, so powerfully, so unapologetically that eventually even your enemies have to respect you. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact, not to chase applause, but to become the echo in other people's souls that whispers, if they can rise, maybe I can too. You are the disruption. You are the proof. You are the lightning strike in a sky that forgot how to believe. And even when the path is unclear, even when the ground beneath your feet trembles, you move, because movement is identity. Movement is power. Movement is the defiance of every voice that ever said you couldn't. And each step forward, no matter how small, screams louder than any excuse ever could. The world doesn't need another person who plays it safe. The world needs you fully alive, wildly focused, and hungry enough to keep climbing. You won't be the same a year from now. That's the point. You're not here to preserve who you are. You're here to unleash who you were born to become. And that kind of evolution, it doesn't wait. It doesn't ask. It doesn't seek permission. It moves. And when you look back, when the dust has settled and the world finally sees what you always knew, you won't remember the nights you slept in. You won't remember the times you played it safe, stayed silent, fit in. You'll remember the fire. You'll remember the leaps. You'll remember the days when you had nothing but still moved like you had everything. That's the legacy. Not perfection, not applause, but that you refused to die with your greatness still inside you. And when your name is spoken, let it be said with awe, because you became the kind of person who moved mountains without waiting for the earth to approve. This world, this broken, beautiful, chaotic world, doesn't need more followers. It needs fire starters, people willing to disturb the silence, to light the way in a place where most people forgot how to see, to live so boldly that you remind others they're alive too. You've already wasted too many years asking small questions. What if I fail? What will they think? Am I ready? But here's the truth. You've been ready. You've always been ready. That idea inside you, that vision, that calling, it's not some random spark. It's a command from your higher self, telling you to get up, to take the shot, to stop living like you have time to waste. Your clock is ticking, not as a threat, but as a reminder that breath is borrowed, that today is sacred, and that your destiny won't wait forever. You either step into it, or you surrender it to someone else who will. And make no mistake, someone will take your place. Someone will write the book you never finished, launch the business you talked about, live the dream you buried in excuses. Someone with less talent, but more courage. Someone with less potential, but more persistence. So let today be the funeral of your fear. Let today be the day your doubt meets its end. Let today be the beginning of a life lived in full color, full fire, full force. You don't need a sign, you are the sign. You don't need approval, you are the permission. You don't need a path, you are the pioneer. And every voice that ever told you to slow down, they're just echoes now. Because you're no longer walking, you're running. Running toward a version of yourself that's bolder, louder, freer. Running toward a vision so clear it burns. Running with your fists clenched, not in anger but in resolve. Because you know, you were not made to blend in. You were not made to follow the script. You were not made to shrink in rooms that need your power. You were made to take up space, to change the atmosphere, to command your reality like the author of a story only you could write. Success isn't the destination. It's the rhythm of your steps as you keep moving forward, even when the road disappears, even when the bridge hasn't been built, even when the only thing you have is the belief that you will not stop. This is the edge. This is the moment. This is where the world waits with bated breath to see if you'll rise or retreat, So rise. Let your life be a rebellion against fear, against conformity, against every hand-me-down belief that said you needed permission to shine. Let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them doubt. Because while they talk, you build. While they wait, you walk. While they sleep, you rise. And one day, when they ask you how you did it, how you became so powerful, so full of purpose, so impossible to ignore, you'll tell them the truth. You didn't wait. You didn't ask. You didn't beg. You moved without permission. And that made all the difference.